Hey, it's Dan Morales, and I wanted to recap how the draw process works on a North Point Bank construction loan. Now, we have a very specific process that we work with in regards to funding draws for your builder. Now, first of all, let's talk about what a draw is. A draw is basically your builder requesting funds, if you will, towards the completion of your home. So in other words, it's kind of how your builder is going to get paid as part of the process of constructing your home. Now, as part of the draw process, there are some different steps that we go through as part of that process to ensure that we protect both the bank as well as you as a homeowner. Okay? Now, the first step that we do is we require your written authorization or your written approval for each draw that your builder takes towards the completion of your home. If we don't have your signed authorization or approval, we cannot release funds to the builder towards the completion of your home. So it's really important that you cooperate and work closely with your builder to make sure that you grant them the approval to take a draw as quickly as possible, because that will help to make sure that your builder gets their construction draw funds quickly, which allows your project to keep moving forward. Okay? No draws are processed without your signed authorization. Now, in addition to that, we do require some paperwork from the builder. Now, the paperwork that's required can vary a little bit from state to state because each state has slightly different requirements as far as documentation that they require from the builder. What we're generally looking for is an itemization from the builder of what they're requesting funds for. And in other words, what work has been completed on the house, what labor and or materials have been provided to the house that they're requesting funds for. Because what we do in addition to getting that paperwork is we actually send the appraiser back out to verify that what the builder is requesting funds for has actually been completed. So in other words, we will not disperse funds to the builder for work that has not been completed or for materials and or labor that have not been provided to the project. So we're always paying the builder, if you will, after that work has been done. We generally will not allow the builder to take a draw for work and or materials that have not been completed or provided to the job site. Now, as with most things, we try to approach this from a pretty common sense perspective. Now, there are times when we will make exceptions to our standard draw process when it's warranted and with your approval. But again, those are just exceptions. They are not the standard rule. Standard rule is we do verify that what the builder is requesting funds for has actually been completed, or we will not allow the builder to take those funds as part of the construction draw. Again, we still require your authorization as part of every construction draw. So once the builder turns in that paperwork, we have the appraiser go back out to verify what they're requesting funds for has actually indeed been completed. But in addition to that, we do also have the title company issue what's called an endorsement. Now, that endorsement is basically, if you will, the title insurance that's being issued to us, which protects us against potential losses should, let's say, the builder not pay a subcontractor or something like that in regards to the completion of the home. So we do require, if you will, that the builder provides typically a lien waiver, which is, if you will, kind of a receipt that shows that all of the funds that we've dispersed to them have indeed been used to pay the subcontractors or material providers that have provided either labor or material to the project. So all of these pieces kind of come together. There's all these little pieces that we go through and we verify to make sure that as the house is being completed and as we are funding draws to the builder, that indeed the work is being done and the work that is being done is getting paid for. It's being paid for in a timely manner. We have proof that the money has been used for those purposes and that indeed the project is, if you will, being completed in a percentage equal to what the builder is requesting funds for. So what I mean by that last sentence, if you will, is, the appraiser, when they go through to verify that the work is being completed, they're going to also verify what percentage of the property has been completed. We use that percentage, if you will, against what percentage of the budget we've drawn, just to kind of make sure everything kind of checks out and everything makes sense in the end. Now, again, we do make common sense exceptions when warranted, but again, those are the exception, not the rule. But we follow this process with each and every draw to make sure that as the house is being completed, we have proof that all of the money is being spent how it should be spent, and that the house is being completed according to the plans and specifications that you provided to us. Now, one of the things that's important to remember is if you make changes to your home, those changes can sometimes pose an issue for both you as a homeowner and us as a bank. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, if you were to, let's say have a change in the cost of the home and you made, let's say, a change order to upgrade, let's say, materials or finishes or something like that, those additional costs are typically not included as part of the loan that we made to you. Now, if as part of your construction loan, we allowed for a contingency as part of the loan amount that you established, sometimes that's not a big deal. In other cases where a client has a smaller down payment and they choose to make a change to the project, and that change, if you will, increases the overall cost of the home, sometimes that can be a big issue, because what happens is there's only so many dollars that were set aside as part of that construction loan, that now if your costs are higher than what you originally told us, you may have to make up that difference cash out of pocket. Now, what does that have to do with the builder's draw, right? Well, what happens is if the cost of the project increase above what we were given as part of the contract, because it exceeds the amount that we were given as part of the contract, we will only fund draws to the builder consistent with what you provided us with your contract cost, again, unless there was a contingency reserve that was built into your loan. For clients who are doing a smaller or minimum down payment, that's generally not going to be an option. So in those cases, if you are going to make a change or you change something that's part of the construction of the home, that change results in an increase in cost, then you need to be prepared to pay for those changes at the time they're made, and your builder is likely going to require you to make payment for those changes when they're made as well too. Okay, so if you have questions or concerns in regards to the draw process, or maybe a unique or specific situation as it relates to your specific project, I encourage you to reach out to my team and I. We're here to make sure we answer questions or concerns you may have. But then, again, if there's something that's not covered, let us know. We'll make sure that we answer it for you. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you find this information helpful and useful to you as we kind of navigate through the process of a custom new home construction loan. Again, I appreciate it. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Thanks again.